10 News begins with breaking news.
Right now, a massive manhunt is underway for Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, the head of the notorious Sinaloa cartel and possibly the world's biggest drug kingpin.
His cartel is blamed for tens of thousands of murders. El Chapo escaped from a maximum security prison in Mexico late last night. 18 prison workers are being questioned. Mexican Marines and U.S. DEA agents arrested El Chapo last year. He had been on the run since breaking out of prison in 2001. El Chapo faced federal indictments in San Diego and several other U.S. cities. U.S. prosecutors wanted him extradited here for fear that he would escape prison again. So now that fear has been realized. So what does Guzman's escape mean for San Diegans? 10
News reporter Matt Mendez talked to a USD professor. He joins us live from San Isidro with why the professor says American safety isn't a big concern. Matt?
That's right. He said people traveling to Mexico, they're not really a target for this cartel. To give you some perspective on the hole that El Chapo escaped through, it's about 20 inches by 20 inches. Pretty small. And this professor thinks there's no way he could have built this tunnel all by himself.
Escaped again. Notorious Mexican drug lord Joaquin Guzman, or El Chapo, snuck out of his prison cell near Mexico City Saturday through an elaborate tunnel.
This is somebody who's responsible for a whole lot of violence and corruption in Mexico, and he's a dangerous guy.
Dr. Ev Mead is a USD professor who runs peace-building seminars in Sinaloa. He says there are still many questions about what impact the escape of the leader of the Sinaloa drug cartel will have.
And we don't know if that will actually stabilize things in northern Mexico, meaning that it'll fill in a power vacuum, or if it's going to set off a whole new war among Mexico's cartels.
El Chapo is arguably the most powerful drug lord in the world. He's believed to control most of the major crossing points for drugs along the border, for years sending cocaine, marijuana, and meth into the U.S. The cartel is also believed to be responsible for 100,000 killings throughout Mexico.
I don't think it's a danger in the sense that we would face if you had a serial killer on the loose or something like that.
Dr. Mead says you and I aren't the real targets. Instead, it's the honest workers in the Mexican government. But the escape does show a failure in the U.S. government's partnership with Mexico in fighting the drug war.
Because it's an indicator that the policies of the U.S. and the Mexican government towards the drug war really haven't worked. We've invested a ton in this particular government in Mexico and in its predecessor in fighting the drug war, and it's proved totally ineffective.
The only question remains how long and how hard it'll be to get El Chapo back in custody.
And I also spoke to a lawyer who represented a woman who was reportedly El Chapo's daughter. Coming up new at 6, we'll have some insight into the family. We're live from the San Isidro Port of Entry. Matt Mendez, 10 News.